Our world is one of mysteries, of wonder, and the unknown. On a daily basis, strange and peculiar occurrences baffle us and inspire us as we strive to further understand this universe, with its unknown forces and fickle laws. One of the most prominent enigmas we encounter on a daily basis is that of epithets. These are manifestations of a single, seemingly random word that inhabit people and allow them to perform impossible things. Only 1 in 6 people are born with an epithet, but those that do find this word embedded in their very soul, becoming an immutable part of their personality, as well as allowing them to perform what can only be described as magic, linked to the meaning of their epithet. There is flourishing debate in academia about whether the epithet determines a person's character or the other way around, although there is no denying that they are linked. For example, famous wrestler Stone the Strongman recently had his epithet Boulder leaked. This word allowed him to summon huge chunks of stone to use in his fights, as well as to defend himself with rock-hard skin. His epithet also manifests in his personality as the stern and immovable fighter for justice that he is. Having one's epithet revealed is something that one tends to avoid, however, as it weakens the user for a time. Their very essence being revealed takes a toll on them, often paralysing the epithet user for a few seconds. So epithet users keep their powers close to their chests. For the rest of the world born without epithets, known as mundies, you have to try harder to keep up, which often allows us to go exceptionally fast. That's all I got so far. What do you think?
The introduction was, really cliche. I know it was included as a flair for the dramatic, but that was just too much, even for him. You just keep going on about mysteries and peculiarities, and you use the word unknown, way too much. If I don't know any better, I'd have thought unknown was your epithet.
We see the train to Marshcon and the Heaven's Gate trials by extension. Commuters sit awkwardly as their daily journey is being invaded by a strange individual, wearing elaborate costumes based on the popular franchise Magical Marsh Monsters. These fans loudly shout about their favourite monsters and excitedly discuss the day ahead, as the smartly dressed commuters eye them with amusement and a bit of shame. We see outside the train as it speeds through the endless sprawl of the urban republic. We see many different sights as they pass by the windows of the carriage. Towering skyscrapers, modest bungalows, religious shrines with slanted roofs and intricately painted woodwork, mechanical factories with whirring cogs and gears, and beautiful mansions made from sandstone. There seems to be very little cohesion between the different styles of building, but they all come together to create the culturally dense and diverse urban republic where this episode takes place. In a quiet corner of the train carriage, a very tired-looking mid-20s man named Byron, Massachusetts sits, with a few books and sheets of paper in front of him. Byron's hair is thick and scruffy, with various twigs and detritus sticking out. His eyes have heavy bags under them, and patchy stubble pushes out his face, between the bruises and cuts that cover his cheeks. Despite a troubling appearance, Byron wears a soft but kind smile, and remarkably calm expression. This changes to confusion and trepidation as he looks down at the work in front of him. The paper reads, "History homework. What makes our world special?" He responds to the person sat with him, I told you, I promise I don't have an epithet. Sometimes I wish I did, but either way, you don't have to keep guessing it anymore. I'd have been willing to give you a proficiency for guessing it if that was what you were after.
A high school girl named Ashley Rose sits at the table with him, and she rolls her eyes at his comment. Her blonde hair set up in a ponytail is seemingly perfect, as her expensive-looking outfit. Yet, as her eyes wander around the carriage, seems to be a constant scowl beneath her calculating eyes. There's a sudden rumble, or an almost practiced reaction. She calmly takes out the way of the falling rucksack from the luggage rack overhead, that proceeds to wipe Byron on the head. It's clearly something weird about him, and she gets to the bottom of it. Ignoring him as she tentatively rubs the new bruise from the fallen luggage and pushes the bag back in the rack, she continues. Well, aside from your OTT phrasing, there's a lot you should add before you finish the essay. I mean, you've barely mentioned mundies. Epithet users aren't the only ones who can do cool things, you know. We can have cool powers too, just not straight up magic or whatever. Like proficiencies gained from succeeding an encounter, or from guessing an epithet, right? And every few points you get or proficiency gets you an upgrade, like an improvement or an existing ability, right? Or a whole new one. Oh, and I mention stamina too, because you know it represents our remaining energy and health, which is kinda important. Which is kind of annoying, because you need it to use abilities, but whatever. You should also mention more about the actual world, like the Seafloor Kingdom and the Archipelago states, which are both so nicer than here, BT dubs. Either way, you shouldn't spend too long on the expedition and actually, like, get to the essay. But it's a decent summary, I guess.
Byron lets out a resigned sigh, realising how much more he has to do. I never know how to finish these things, although I suppose I'm not even really there yet. Perhaps he's cut off as an action figure is sent flying by a figurine fight that turned too rowdy on the other side of the train. The five-armed toy collides with Byron's water bottle, knocking it over and soaking his essay in water. Byron frantically tries to mop up the water and salvage his essay, while Ashley smirks. The chaos continues as the train full of excited passengers nears its destination. MarshCon 20XX. Although a few of these passengers would find themselves mixed up in even greater turmoil, their destiny awaits. But will they be up to the task of opposing the Marsh incident?